Hello, everyone. This is part two of the series. Um, the reason part one didn't get out was because a lot of stuff was going on in the background, and yeah, basically, I don't. That's basically a rough summary, and I'm gonna give a quick summary of what happened in the first episode. So this nation expanded like from here to about there. This nation took over this nation and made it a puppet. And this nation got absolutely wrecked by this nation. This nation took over a nation that was from here to here to here. So let's continue. So then this nation expands its territory even more, but then establishes a puppet government with a bit of a lighter color. Yeah, I know, how is that possible to have a lighter color? So then basically they establish a puppet government in this area that expands down to about modern day Portugal. And once this happens, there is a revolt. And once this revolt happens, the territory that was taken here was claimed. But then we will call this the Purple Revolution. And the Purple Revolution took most, if not almost all, of the territory they had in modern day France. And then they just encircled all the forces and basically destroyed them. So in the peace treaty, it was basically a full annexation of this part. So they made a centralized. So once the peace treaty is over, they make a centralized puppet government that basically acts as a buffer between all of the drama that's outward and the nation and the main nation. So it's established as the Kingdom of Kurul. So the Kingdom of Kurul is a very peaceful one, because all it wants is just to expand its kingdom, which is kind of not peaceful. But besides that, they're pretty peaceful. They're not going to commit that many war crimes with their current leadership. So then this nation decides it needs to expand more. So it expands onto this island. And then it takes the massive island of Greenland. And the reason this nation becomes so powerful is because of all of the raw resources it finds in Ireland and like all the islands. So then they land in modern day Norway, and then they have a quick war. And they have a quick war with the Green Nation. So once they surrender, the peace treaty is basically that they take the Norwegian territory. So the peace treaty is that from here to here is theirs, and the rest is still theirs. Now the reason they want to expand into Norway is because there is an ongoing theory that Norway has a lot of resources that a few nations in this area know about. But a few nations are willing to try and see if that's true. So they stop in their territorial expansion about here. So then another nation is here. And that nation is the Orange Nation. Now, the Orange Nation is a very weird nation because it's a Frankenstein nation of three different nations. This nation, and this nation. Now, it starts from about the middle point, which is right here. So its capital is in like modern day Vienna. And it's basically a giant blob. So the whole purpose is basically it's led by a group of people from each nation, wanting to just make their own empire. And the theory that they have is that if they take over enough land that is unclaimed into their empire, other nations will fall and they will make their ideal empire possible. Now it's basically like a conspiracy that most nations had, but not the aspect of different people coming together to make this nation. Now this empire is very unstable. You can kind of compare it to the Holy Roman Empire. It's in like the same centralized location. It has the same instability, and there's a lot of people who don't want to be in this empire. But what's different is that this nation actually uses its power. So they start to expand this way, and once basically like the French nation realize that they're out to invade and take the entire Iberian Peninsula that's not controlled by them already, it's a race for Iberia basically. So quickly, this nation tries to take most of this part of Iberia. Then these borders look absolutely horrendous. So in return for some territory, in return for some money, this empire I cannot speak today. Gives this territory to them so their borders look better. Then this nation takes most of Iberia. So we have three main players in this world. This nation, this nation, and this nation. You can argue this one's the fourth player, but we'll get to that later. So then there's a nation that no one expects that expands more. You're right. This kind of Japanese nation. We would call this one the the Ramen Empire. So the Ramen that's kind of, I'm gonna get heated in the comments for that. We'll call it the I don't know. I don't know. Put in comments what this nation should be called. So then they steadily invade and take this part of the continent, expanding till around here. And once they get up to about here, they have taken most of the area, and they realize something. There is another large empire that no one has known that is here. And you're probably wondering, well, where is it? Huh? Anyways, so this large empire spans from here across basically the entire border. They thought it was just more tribes, but it's an entire centralized empire. But here's the weakness of this empire. It is very disorganized, and its leader is very disliked by a lot of people in the empire, including a lot of the major politicians. So once I'll just call it the I don't know. I'll just name it after a province here. The Kingdom of Kyoto realizes that this large nation has a weakness that if they exploit it, it could lead to them taking all of the territory that they own. So they try to expand their influence towards modern-day Siberia. And once they settle the border and make some nice borders, they start to cause drama in the empire. And by that, I mean they spread propaganda saying that the new leader is going to unleash war on every single nation in the world. And because these people need every single excuse to revolt, they do. So there's a revolution in this nation. Let me see. Oh wait, no, I've already used that color. So then this revolt starts here. And there is steady progress. So once about here, the front line stalls. So then more revolts start to pop up in different areas. So then these revolts unite. And once they unite, they start to have central progress. And then finally, the Japanese nation enters the war. And then there is very steady progress. And by that, I mean there is complete destruction of the Pink Empire. So then, there is a peace treaty signed. So in the peace deal, the Japanese nation takes a lot of this territory. And this nation takes a lot of this. So then, after this, the peace treaty is settled. The Kingdom of Kyoto's generals and the soldiers are praised as war heroes, and that war is over. Now you're probably wondering, what is going on in the rest of the world at this time, since that war took literally probably around 10 years. So in the rest of the world, there's wars that are to come. And that's the end of this episode. Bye!